Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning trading room. I'm glad you guys could make it. The GoToWebinar software, it's good software, but I hate it when they do changes because it kind of reboots everything from the beginning, and I never know whether the room is going to open properly or not. But it looks like everything is working. Looks like everybody made it here. Yesterday, bit of a dud overall, a snooze fest. The market really not doing a whole heck of a lot of sideways trading. You can see this was practically the whole session right here, really quiet. The overnight, the Asian session, pretty much non-existent. And we're kind of taking over within that same range. This is a little unusual. You know, summer trading is quiet, but this is really quiet. But we'll see how they go. We'll see what kind of opportunities develop today. Currently, we're getting a couple buy signals across the board here. Everybody's in sync. We have a bullish hawk, a late filter entry signal here on the Falcon that kind of overlaps with the trend change signal. A little bit of a short-lived move, however, as we flinch before the primary resistance zone. The Eagle and the Raptor both back here in the trading band. And this was the Raptor yesterday. See, it got a little bit busy going into the close, but other than that, really quiet. And here too, like I said, we've got that sideways trading range. Really, until the market emerges from this type of trading zone, anything within here is going to be very speculative, very difficult. The market did just open up, however. Hey, way to go, Steve. Steve says for him, yesterday turned out to be an excellent trading day. Nice job. Those sideways days, I don't mind them. I've had some decent sideways sessions as well, but I do like to see a little bit more range, you know, than this sort of stuff. Although I guess there was a half decent run here going into the lunch hour break. For me, it seems the markets I do worst on are the ones that are just going great guns, higher or lower. Because if you don't get on that move right away, sometimes it can be very difficult to get back into that move. So here we've got a block of selling making an early move through the market. And you can see it's subsided. Oh, just made my mute button before the big sneeze. And now we're getting some buying going on. So again, that kind of reinforces the whole notion of this sideways trading. Oh, I see. Steve says the morning was dull, but the afternoon picked up. Let's take a look here. Mark makes a comment about the daily chart. Mark says, crazy that if you look at a daily chart, we're on our 8th day of an upward trend with green daily bars. I sense a correction coming. It does tend to look that way, doesn't it? This always reminds me of throwing a ball in the air. You throw it and then it crests and then it comes down. 7,500 really being a stumbling block for the market. If you look at the volume bars down here, you can see that as the market rallied, the volume did tail off a little bit. The sessions overall are smaller as well. And this was yesterday, a doji style bar. Dojis are always tricky because they're so darn neutral. I don't know. Mark says mine looks different than yours. My daily chart. Hold on a second. We'll bring it back over here. Let us compare. It's going to be in the data series. I am set on the regular trading hours. So this is only the day session that I'm looking at. If I put on the 24 or even the 24/7, gives a slightly different look. So maybe that's what the difference is. Oh, Mark says maybe the data provider. Yeah, it could be the data provider. Another way you can build a daily chart while we're just waiting for the market to settle in here a little bit. You can go to your data series and you can go to, instead of building a daily chart, you can build a 1440-minute chart, as there are 1440 minutes within every 24-hour period. Oh, make sure you put enough days in here. And there you go. It really messes up the volume. That's kind of giving it a slightly more bullish look. Just curious about these very low volume. Oh, those will be Sunday. Those will be Sunday morning. That's what it is. If I take out the Sunday morning session, it will look like a more normal chart. There we go. All right, we'll put that away for now. All right, looks like we've had a couple of reasonable swings. A little one lower out of the open, produced a number one signal here on a, it's funny that one actually printed that way because it's kind of an early cloud crossover, but it did catch it all the same, as the clouds are, well, they're just a mess. I'll give opening range here a little bit. Okay, well, we're looking like we're getting a bit of a change in trend here now. Um, we've got ourselves actually an early number two signal. It's not printing as a number two, but we're getting a second push opportunity on it. I might give that one a go. If we are in a sideways trading range here, we're kind of coming off the top end of the range a little bit. If we take out these lows, then there's a good chance that the market will try to drift here toward the bottom end of the trading range. What time is it? Oh, my least favorite time of the day to trade, at around quarter to the hour. So the counter trend, the number two signal, is first off, you have to have something resembling a trend. Okay, well, it's not a strong trend, but it's a small trend. After that, you need to see a test of the extreme, and that's what occurred right here. The market bouncing up a little bit, retesting the high, coming back, and producing a sell signal. The reason the number two signal did not print, however, is because, well, one of two reasons. Either this retest was not high enough to meet the programming parameters, or it was just drawn out a little bit too much. So here we come with yet another retest, another number two signal, this one printing, and that would actually give us our 232 setup, which does tend to be a little bit more reliable. And we actually got a little positive slippage on that trade as well. And took a little bit of a bounce here off the median line. Come on. The next move lower here, since the market is kind of bouncing around a little. Oop, come on. I'm going to bring my break even in a little bit in case there's another trend line bounce. Oh, way to go, Mark. Mark says picked up a little profit on that late filter entry to the upside. Would have been this one right here. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of a mixed bag right now. The filter and everything is starting to break up. Well, lack of follow through has kind of been the norm of late. Okay, they're going to make another push lower here. I could roll my stops slightly, but really for the extra $100 that I have in play, I may just leave it as is. All right, this now is probably the last chance for the sellers. All right, I will bring my stop in a little bit, put it above the primary resistance line. Hopefully that will give me enough wiggle room. The best stop's still above the high of the day. Actually, you know what? Here, let's do things properly. So we'll leave the stop here above the high of the morning. To me, there's nothing, well, there's lots worse, but it's very annoying to be stopped out prematurely only to watch the market turn around and head off in your direction. Well, they're now in number one signal, so some definite bullishness coming into the marketplace. Or attempted bullishness. All right, well, this is now 1, 2, 3. That's the third time the market's hit that level. So I guess maybe if they get through there, it's probably time for me to take my lumps. not liking the fact the market keeps trying to push higher. That's not giving me a whole lot of confidence in my position right now. But so far, the sellers still managing to hold the line, but just barely so. All right, let's see if they can test the bottom end. My theory is always, if the market doesn't have a reason to go higher, short it. Oh, come on. Find my break-even stop there. Or at least my break-even trigger, I mean. There we go. Let's have a little follow through now. No, don't look back yet. Oh, scoundrels. Okay, well, a break even is better than a loss, but I have a feeling I might have been a little bit tight there with the break even trigger. We'll see. Maybe that wasn't such a bad deal, as the market still really stuck in a very tight range, really just going over these same numbers again, same numbers we saw yesterday. The hawk here, very, very neutral as well. The falcon, a little bit like a roller coaster. The eagle, of course, very neutral as well. The band all over the map here. It's funny, trade forecasters suggesting a trend mode. I think that is going to have more to do with the degree of pullback than how far the market's actually going to be moving. Another bullish rally, maybe. Let's see if they get outside that trading range. If they get outside the trading range, it may open things up a little bit. Well, they made a break for it, but they got turned around pretty quick. So you can see it broke above the high of the morning. There was enough in there, by the way, if you're watching this number one signal develop. This is the kind of signal where you maybe want to take your Geiger counter into consideration. If your Geiger counter is green or it looks like it's favoring some more bullishness, some buying, then go ahead, throw if the risk amount is acceptable, put a trade on. I would suggest going all in, all out, just because the market's so sideways at the moment. But you can see there was enough in there to reach your profit objective. Personally, I like to see the market maybe advance a little bit more first. Give a clearer indication which way it might want to go. All right, well, they're recovering slightly. Here we've got a couple late filter entry signals here on the Falcon. I think you need to be a little bit suspect though, just because the way the day is unfolding. I do believe this will still be a reliable signal, but you're going to need to run a relatively deep stop to make it work. All right, well, we'll hang with it for a little while here. I do need to close the room at the bottom of the hour again. I got another appointment I need to get to, another ferry I need to catch, but it doesn't look like we're really missing out on a whole lot. All right, well, they're inching higher. It's too early to call it a trend. So here was that late filter entry signal. It's taking a long time to develop. The late filter entry signal occurs when your filter goes out of sync and comes back into sync. The trend line itself never changes color. A very reliable signal. And we're about halfway to our profit target. If we can see another bullish bar, then I would likely be inclined to roll my stops in a little bit. But overall, another quiet day. Yeah, Scott says the late filter entry signal is almost as good as putting money in the bank. I have been known to say that. And as is so typical of a sideways market, it's always going to be testing the top and bottom ends of the trading range. So now that we've broken this swing high up here, we see some selling come in. We could probably draw a trend line across here somewhere, something like this. And when and if the market gets back here, looks like around the 74, 83, 84 zone, which, by the way, looks like it will coincide more or less with the hard edge of the trading band, we'll probably anticipate some buying to come into the market as well, as the buyers will have to do something if they're going to support the market. But overall, still a very, very quiet day. Now we're getting that number 2 signal. And if you believe that we're at the top end of the trading range and the market is going to try to get to the bottom end of the trading range, here is an opportunity for a short and a second push entry on that number 2 signal. We don't have anything else going on, so I'll show that to you. All right, let's see. Let's see if the sellers can push it down now. We're getting a little bit of a double or triple top type idea. Nope. Okay. Well, it was worth a try. The setup was there. It looks as though the the buyers still in control of the market. Like I said, it's a little bit too early to actually call it an uptrend, but we are favoring the upside, so that makes it a little bit easier. All right, gang, I'm gonna button up the room here. If you are going to continue trading today, well, we're back at 7,500. That's been a real stumbling block for the market, so I would anticipate a more active selling as the market inches its way here to 7,500. Personally, I think we're just going to see the market continue to range. I could see a move back, certainly back here to the median line around 74, 74. That's entirely possible. But you're probably going to want to favor buy signals over sell signals, as the market does have a slight bullish bent to it. All right, I will talk to you again tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye for now.